Hi everyone, Bandanner here, I hope you're all doing well. So, WARNO League Season 0.5 has breached the group stages and we are now heading into the final stage, the quarterfinals, semi-finals and finals. Quarterfinals starting today with a game from Chich and Tofuk, and if that's all you're interested in, please do feel free to just skip ahead in the video. I will put a marker in there for the start of the game. Otherwise, thank you for sticking around. We're going to have a quick look through the divisions. Everyone, I feel, deserves a mention. People have played very, very well. So I'd just like to go through Division 1, 2, and 3, show you who's gone through, and then have a quick look at the matchups for the quarterfinals. So, in Division 1, Group A, Mix 90, or Mix 73 as he's called here, goes through along with T-Man. Bulba and Matrin not quite making the grade this time, but both played fantastically well. I'm sure you've seen their games on the channel. Next up, we have Group B with a wooden box and Chich going through. Chich's game we will see, or one of his games we will see today against Tofuk. Medi and Vulcan don't quite get there this time. Both, again, played very well. Vulcan played very few 1v1 games recently, but still managed to really give the guys a run for their money. Then in Group C, we have Tofuk and Dark Neutron going through. Berthags and Joker not quite making it. And then finally for Group D, we have Lathans and Sotek going through. Tana and Jasp not quite making it either on this occasion. So where does that leave us with the final stages? Mix will be going up against Sotek. Tofuk will play Chich. Those games have been completed and we will start watching those today. Then we will have a wooden box versus Dark Neutron and Lathans versus T-Man. I'm told Lathans versus T-Man will be on Thursday, and assuming it's at a sensible time and I'm available, I will attempt to cast those live over on Twitch. And then we will see who goes to the semi-finals and then the finals. But we certainly won't be having a Lathans and T-Man final this time, because one of them is going to take the other one out on Thursday. Let's have a look at Division 2. Over in Division 2, again, we've had a great set of games from everyone. You've all played fantastically well. In Group A, Forward and Proletary go through. Phoenix and Stardeck not quite getting there this time. Group B, Stahl and De Gardner go through. Aim Ducey and Guard X-Rams not quite getting there. Can I just say, this group in particular, there were a lot of ties. There were a lot of draws. So, good group there, because lots of equally skilled players. Then in Group C, we have Xi Jinping, who goes through along with Swinedad. 12th to 12th doesn't go through, and UWeb also not going through. Then finally in Group D, Doomhammer and Lynchy progress. Lynchy will be delighted. Pbat and Dozakar don't quite make the grade this time, but very well played everybody. Fantastic games. Let's have a look what that gives us for the final stage. Final stage, round 1. Forward goes up against Lynchy. Z goes up against De Gardner. Stahl against Swinedad. Doomhammer versus Proletary. Finally, we have Division 3, and sorry I've not managed to cover a lot of your games on the channel, people. There's just not enough time in a day to cover all of these many games, sadly. But Group A, Golden Panzer and Farad Rommel go through. Tonman and Badger Jelly not quite making it on this occasion. In Group B, the Annoying Cat and Princess Evelyn go through. Eclipse and Neon Mage not quite getting there this time. And then in Group C, Propaganda goes through with Hot Dog. Zesty and Hunez not quite getting there again this time. Group D, Martin and Attack will go through. Cindy and Rumbling Loki not quite making it. But well played to everybody. And the final stage for this grouping, we'll see Golden Panzer going up against Atakwa. Propaganda versus Princess Evelyn has already been played. Propaganda taking the points there and moves on to the semi-finals to play either Atakwa or Golden Panzer. The Annoying Cat versus Hot Dog. And then Martin versus Farad. Martin has actually taken that win already and moves on to the semi-finals as well to face off either against the Annoying Cat or Hot Dog. But well played, everybody. You've all played really well to get through to the quarterfinals. And good luck in the rest of the tournament. Let's hop into our first game with Chich and Tofuk. Hi everyone and welcome to the quarterfinals of the SDL WARNO League Season 0.5. Today we are with Tof and Chich for their first game of 3. This is a best of 3 round, so we'll have a good set of 3 games from various players. Obviously, we may only get 2 from some, others will get all 3. On this occasion, we definitely have all 3, so please do stay tuned for the rest of the week because we'll have the other 2 games up as well. In this game, we have Tof on the right in blue playing as the 8th Infantry, and over on the left in red we have Chich playing as the 1st Armoured Division. Let's have a look at what Tof has down. Tof with some Jäger Aufgel heading up to Alpha, and Jäger Aufgel heading up to the forest outside of Delta rather than straight into Delta. At the back we've got some Engineer's Dragon and a Stinger heading up towards Alpha. We've also got a good chunk of units here. We've got some ITORs and IHawk, Engineer's Dragon, an Engineer's Flash, and an Abrams Command, all heading down towards Delta. We have an anti-air chopper, we have a Cobra, and we have a Black Hawk with air rifles heading to cap, or secure Charlie rather than cap it, I should say. So, no command for the top. Command going to Foxtrot and then Delta in the form of the tank. I'm going to quickly pause and we'll spin round and have a look at what Chich has down. So Chich playing as the 1st Armoured does have forward deployment troops. So here we do see there are some Terriers Paras and Milan Paras heading up to Delta and Charlie. Interesting. Since he has forward deployment, he is going to contest that. And obviously, Tof on the other side isn't contesting it quite as much as you might expect, probably because he knows that Chich will have some forward deployment. SAS Patrol also heading up to Delta. We have a Milan 2 Paras heading up to the center here. Good position for Milans and things in the middle here. Same at the other side, like in that building there, but easy target for artillery. We have Scouts heading up this way to the front of Bravo, and then at the back we seem to have a huge chunk of units. Here we have gun groups in Warriors and arm rifles in Warriors. We also have a Gazelle rocket, a Tractor Rapier, and a Chieftain Command. Yeah, looks like Chich is going to go quite hard in here and try and secure Delta and Charlie. That chopper not going to fare too well against the anti-air chopper from the other side. We have another 2 Gazelle rockets also heading over that way. So we're going to see 3 Gazelle rockets engaging. And over at this side we have a couple of gun groups in the Warriors. We have a Tractor Rapier and we have a Chieftain Command tank at this side as well. So 2 commands in for Chich. Let's get this show on the road. Early combat is most certainly going to be over at Delta, the industrial zone. Fighting Falcon in for Tof. Not surprised by that. Seemed to have a little bit less on the ground, so there had to be some money spent elsewhere. But that will help with the Gazelles alongside the anti-air helicopter. Early combat will be the Cobra likely engaging some of these forward deployed infantry, which may give Tof a little boost early on. But he's going to be a lot weaker at the top of the map, so it depends how aggressive Chich is up there. Falcon not yet seen a helicopter to attack. One of the helicopters has actually been split off and is heading towards the top end of the map now. 2 of them coming down here. Bit of a change of plans there for Chich. Cobra is in play, engaging on the SAS Patrol. AA chopper doing its thing. Tornado F3 in at the other side, going for the Fighting Falcon. Fighting Falcon badly damaged. Doesn't go down. The helicopter goes down, and the Falcon goes down. Oh, Tornado goes down to the IHawk, though. Good deployment there by Tof. He did lose his Cobra, though, which he'll be unhappy about. The anti-air chopper did survive, though. Milan 2, trying to get shots on units as they come in. If only it was a little bit further up here, it would just have a little bit more range on that road. SAS Patrol going up against the Engineer's Dragon, the Jäger Aufgel. Engineer's Dragon finally engaging. More Engineer's Dragon trying to move up. But reinforcements arriving now for Chich as well. Down here at the bottom of the map in Charlie, Aero Rifles winning out against the Terrier's Paras. Up here, the fire support, really important for Chich. He's doing a lot of damage with it. Has forced the Jaeger Aufkul out of there. Along with the engineers, who are likely going to just die. Command is in the point for Toff, though. Fighting Falcon coming in. Gazelle rocket goes down. Tracked Rapier taking shots at the F-16 though. Oh! Chieftain Mark 11 comes out on top. The Abrams command tank goes down. Chieftain badly damaged. Was taking fire from the Jaeger of Clara as well. Mac Rifles Law coming in to reinforce that point. An M60 coming in as well. Gun group here with a Warrior Milan pushing up. At the top of the map, looks like Chich is about to be somewhat aggressive. Moving up that Warrior Milan a bit. Certainly has the numbers to do a push here compared to what Toff has. But it could really go either way depending on how the Dragon performs. If the Dragon can kill the Warrior Milans, and then that'll look a lot better. At the moment, the majority of the fighting focused down here. And it does seem like Toff is coming out on top. Another Fighting Falcon goes down. Laser-guided bomber also going down there. Tornado doing the business. There is a third Fighting Falcon coming in, but the Tornado should be out of there. Lots of jet losses in this game so far. From Chich's side, Ito going for the Chieftain Command Tank. Oh, it misses. Fighting Falcon going in for the Chinook supply. Target of opportunity, but risky business when there's a tracked Rapier there. Does get out unscathed, though. Chich causing issues at the top of the map there. Has managed to get the Warriors into the point. And infantry moving up now as well. Still hanging back with the Chieftain Command, but that is now on the move at the top left there. Down here, M113s chasing down this tracked Rapier. Taking fire from the command, but M113 is not doing a bad job here at all. At the bottom, Aero Rifle still in control of that point. A command is on the way. Neither player any advantage right now in points in the grand scheme of things. That will change if Chich manages to capture the top point at the top left of the screen there. Although at the bottom right of the screen, we obviously have Charlie, where it looks like Toff will cap. Where are these M113s going? They've done a decent job chasing away the Tractor Rapier and doing a lot of damage, but they're now just charging into the Warriors. Laser Guided Bomber coming in at the top there, looking for a kill on Command Tank, I assume. Gets the kill. There's one less thing to worry about at the bottom of the map here for Toff. Laser Guided Bomber coming around again. What's it going for this time? Going for the Warrior Milans. Gets one kill, does some serious damage to the other one. Dragon not hitting the mark and finishing the job. Over at this side. Oh, the Aero Rifles have pushed up out of the point and into that building. They are now at the mercy of the Warrior Milan, of course, if it has eyes on. The M60 is coming in, though, and the command into this point. Looks like Toff will cap this point before... Ooh. Milan 2. I thought it might get a kill on the CV there, but it appeared to be firing at the M60. M60 gets the kill. Tornado versus Fighting Falcon. Once again, Fighting Falcon goes down. iHawk gets a nice hit on the Tornado. Doesn't get a second. Toff running out of fighting falcons here. But look at what's happened at the top of the map here. A Cobra was brought in and an M60 arrived, and Toff managed to completely clear up this end of the map. There is nothing left here for Chich. Well played to Toff there. Well, there's a huge army coming in at the bottom here, and that's why it's so quiet at the top. Chich redirected all his forces down here to get back into this point. Has managed to get all the way up to the tree line, which is so important. Is now taking a lot of fire from the infantry, though. One warrior goes down. At the bottom, it looks like Toff is still doing well here. Gun group and the warrior Milan are destroyed. The arrow rifles still alive. They escaped from the building and ran into the forest just down here. This is a big chunk of units. I'm wondering if we're seeing a command coming in yet at the top of the map. We aren't. Currently +1 to Toff. He needs a command at the top end of the map to take that point. Obviously on these dual maps, points being only worth 1, I mean, you don't get a huge bonus if you've just got 1 extra point. You kind of want at least 2. Chich looks a little bit thinner on the ground at the moment. Supply trying to reach the Ito there. Is taken out by the Milan 2, however. Heavy push coming at this side now. The Ito being out of ammunition means that they can just push around. Jet coming in here at the back. Tornado. There's a Thunderbolt coming in from Toff's side. And a Cobra there that's been rearmed and repaired. Or a fresh Cobra, as the other one is actually still at the back at the top of the screen there. Obviously Thunderbolt could be paramount to clearing this up when it gets in. The CV is actually being sent from the bottom of the map up to the top of the map. I guess that saves him spending on another one. That does mean that he'd have to bring that back should he lose any of the points down here. Thunderbolt coming in. Smoke has gone down already for some units. Thunderbolt coming in. Absolutely clearing up here, but taking a lot of damage and goes down. Tornado gets a kill, but took a lot of damage itself. Oh, the Eye-Hawk gets the Tornado. That was a heck of a long-range shot, but the Eye-Hawk takes down the Tornado. HE Bomber coming in for the buildings. But in the chaos, a Chieftain Mark 11 command also went down in the center here. Not looking superb for Chich right now. Cobra coming in to help clear up. Tracked Rapier a little bit far behind those units. Is moving up now though. The other Cobra is repaired and ready to come in when it needs to. Currently +2 to Toff as he takes the top point. There's a Chieftain Mark 11 command coming in there, but one Chieftain and a couple of rifles are not going to make much progress at the top of the map. Down here, Chich has made an inroad into the point, but has no command anymore. Cobra has to retreat. But it goes down to the tracked Rapier. M1A1 Abrams being called in now to try and deal with these vehicles. Cobra being sent in on a suicide mission here. I'm not sure why. Bit of a waste by Toff there. After losing one. Chich's unit's very much concentrated. Surely he's bringing in a command now. Spin ourselves round. No, we have a Challenger Mark 3 on the way in. Rifle's not looking so good at the top of the map there, as Toff has pushed out slightly and is using the M60 as fire support. Warrior Milan's having to be called in there to help cover that point. Laser guided bomber coming in, looking for a kill on the infantry in the building. Yes, nice kill. Chich looking a bit more in control here, but needs a command. As the points tick up for Toff, and the longer these points tick up, the better it is, obviously, for Toff. Regaining points late in the game is difficult on these dual maps unless you know you can steamroll the enemy and take every point on the map. Then, potentially. Nice kill on the Chieftain Mark 11 command there. Good use of laser-guided bombers by Toff. He did lose one earlier, but this one's survived. Has done quite a bit of damage so far. And 1A1 Abrams arriving here. I'm expecting to see, yeah, Mutt CV at the right-hand side of the screen here, moving into that top point. Will be now secured by Toff. Which would be a nice bonus in points. Tractor Rapier doing a good job, just shooting stuff down left, right, and centre this game. Looking forward to seeing its kill list at the end. +4 to Toff. That's a nice thing to have on this map. M1A1 going up against the Chieftain Mark 11. Obviously, M1A1 definitely comes out on top there. Our rifles being dropped off by Toff as well. Already under fire, though, which isn't ideal. Challenger Mark 3 coming in. Milan 2. Oh, that would have been a side shot on the Abrams there by how it was reversing. It's a very lucky Abrams. That is a very lucky Abrams. Seems somehow, even though Toff has lost 3 F-16 Fighting Falcons, he has now achieved some kind of air superiority as he's constantly got jets out. Toff making a move back into this point now. He's going to spin us around so we can see the top points as well. Lots of reinforcements arriving there for Chich, and there's a good chance he can defeat the defensive forces there, because he's certainly got a lot of infantry. But obviously Chich is missing commands right now. I think he's going for the Lathan's approach of, I don't care how many points you have, I'm just going to seize control of the map and then cap the points later. Does seem like Toff is slightly on the back foot now. In this point, at least. Abrams there, badly damaged, does need to be repaired. Challenger Mark 3 almost dead as well, though. Laser guided bomber. Oh, laser guided bomber comes in. Manages to get a kill on the Fox, but didn't spot the Challenger. Mech rifles not looking so good there. Very much outnumbered. Toff maintaining that +4 at the moment. I was about to say, probably wants to get that CV out of there and is indeed rushing it out just as I was about to say it. As I don't think he's going to hold this point. Has forced a slight retreat by Chich, surprisingly. Challenger Mark 2 coming in for the bottom now. Chich actually building up quite a sizable force. Another Chieftain coming in. And a supply chopper. That Abrams desperately needs a repair. Nice hit on the Chieftain there from the Ito. Oh, Ito takes a hit though. Hemet has arrived for some repair work. Well played here by both players. Chich making a bit of a comeback in terms of map control, but still 6 minutes to the victory at a +4 for Toff. It's looking good for him right now. Remember, though, this is game 1 of 3. This is a best of 3 scenario. And all 3 games were played on this occasion. So remember to tune in tomorrow for the next game. Tornado going after the Fighting Falcon. Tornado taking a lot of damage, though. Tornado goes down and the Fighting Falcon goes down. So many air superiority fighter losses in this game. Milan 2 Powers gets a kill on the M60 at the top of the map there. That was a good hit. Challenger coming in, clearing up the infantry here. Toff looking in a much worse position than 10 minutes ago. Looking very thin on the ground. I see various units coming in. There's an artillery piece in as well now. He's hanging on to this point at the moment, but for how long? He's completely lost control here. He's not really in control of this point anymore, though Chich obviously doesn't know that and hasn't moved in yet. It has given the opportunity, actually, for Toff to call in reinforcements for that top point. There's an M1A1 coming in there. There's a Bradley coming in. Still no commands in for Chich at the front lines. Has he called any in? Let's spin round. Doesn't look like it. I can't see a command. 4 minutes. Time is kind of becoming of the essence. On the basis it takes a short while for units to get from the back of the map to the front lines, he needs to start taking points back sooner rather than later. He's done a really good job at regaining control and is exchanging really, really well now. This bottom point is not looking good for Toff either. Challenger Mark III and the Chieftain are going to cause serious issues. That M60 does not stand a chance and goes down immediately to the Challenger Mark III. Toff currently managing to reinforce that top point and hold off the tide from Chich. But look at the amount of units Chich has up there. There's still a chance that Chich can turn this game around completely. Finally has 2 commands coming in. Looks like 2 Sultans. Not the fastest units in the game. So we're at 90 minutes left of the game. 19.5 minutes-ish when they came in. So you mark your timers there and we'll see when they actually reach the front line. Because this is something you have to take into account when you're behind on points, how long it takes for your commands to reach the front. Victory in 2 minutes, 50 odd seconds for Toff. Toff definitely struggling with the map control. Chich has certainly won the battle down here at the moment. Bradley there, scaring off the Challenger though. The battle rages up here. Toff doing a lot with what I would consider very little compared to the amount of stuff that's coming at him. And he's holding, and that's all he really needs to do is hold at a +4. He's looking very, very good. 18 minutes left of this game. But that's already pretty much heading towards a minute and a half since those commands came in, and they are still not at the front lines. Heavy reinforcements arriving here for Toff as well. 2 Abrams pushing in now against the Chieftains. They should easily win that fight. Laser Guided Bomber coming in the top there. Looking for a kill on a Challenger Mark II, I think. Maybe not. I don't know what it dropped on. Chieftain Mark 11 went down. I know that much. Tornado coming in. Looking for a kill on that Laser Guided Bomber. Doesn't get it. Chich is actually being forced back here. 2 minutes gone since we talked about those commands coming in, and one is finally arriving at the front line, but not going straight into that top point. This one here, 2.5 minutes. The Sultan will, after 2.5 minutes, just get into this point by the looks of it. Obviously, that will extend the game at least a little bit. +3 will become a +2. Needs to be careful with that Sultan, though. Doesn't want to go too far in the point. And be an easy target for the Rifles Law or the Abrams. +2, extending the game. And then it will be neutralized, as he does manage to get the Sultan in the other side as well. 1,933 points. 16 minutes left on the clock. Chich still needs to do some serious work here. He's done a fantastic job turning this around. He's regained control of the map, but not yet in control of enough of the map. He needs to clear out Charlie, and he needs to also clear out the top point as well, preferably. He needs everything here. Warrior Milan's coming in there. Another Challenger Mark II. Another 2 Challenger Mark IIs, sorry. Chich is reinforcing well. He's bringing in the right units. Very little AA dotted around for Toff at the moment. And that Hell Arm obviously causing issues. Having to be engaged by the Jäger of Clara. Artillery coming in on the command there, I think, or near it. But the command has been moved out the point. As I say, Toff continues to do very well with what feels like very little. Much smaller groups of units covering various areas of the map. He's going to be crazy with this Mutt CV here. He's going to try and charge it into the point just for a counter cap. And it's already getting shot at and it's dead. Toff possibly feeling a little bit desperate here. He hasn't been exchanging well for the last 15 minutes at least. Chich does have a lot more on the field now. We can zoom out and look at that. There's very little blue in terms of units on the field. M1 Abrams coming in here. Seed coming in looking for a kill in an Nighthawk. I don't know if Toff is babysitting this. We're about to find out. Nighthawk prepping to fire. Seed doesn't actually shoot it. Looks like Toff did realise. Turned it off as it came in. Pivad's doing some damage there. Pivad's doing quite a lot of damage. Nighthawk not hitting the mark. Mad dash of reinforcements. A little bit concerned here. Arm rifles in the way of these M1A1 Abrams. Tanks versus infantry in close quarters. Not great for the tanks. There are some arrow rifles being dropped off at the back here. Another 2 Challenger Mark IIs coming in. Top of the map. Looking a little bit more concerning now. 13 minutes left of the game. Chich looking good in terms of control. And Toff is just throwing everything in now. Even the Black Hawks, the transport choppers, are going in. +1 to Toff. 1 minute 27 to the victory. That's all he wanted to do was get the command in there. He smoked it to protect it. But it's going to die pretty quickly. Pivad's doing some damage to the Gazelles there. Command goes down. 1,950 odd points. Toff certainly won the battles at the start of this game, but appears to be losing the war. Looking at it from Chich's side, he's not looking bad. He is still losing units. He's lost a lot of units in the last couple of minutes. Obviously, equal desperation to kill the command that was there. And Mech Rifles leader coming in now for Toff. Toff is looking for points. He needs a handful of points. And that's what he's looking for right now. Chich overextended a little bit, killing that command and pushing into the aero rifles. Don't get me wrong, he killed some high value units. Challenger Mark III goes down to the laser guided bomber. Chich is falling apart. A fantastic comeback. A fantastic comeback by Chich, but now it's just a wall of red losses. Somehow Toff has turned this around again. Smoke dropping in that corner to protect an eventual CV that comes in there. Surprised we haven't seen those aero rifles move into the buildings. Obviously they will be susceptible to support fire from the challengers. The top of the map. Toff is pushing out there, trying to keep the pressure on. Laser guided bomber coming in at the top here. Probably going for a kill on the Centurion, so it's out the way. Doesn't actually drop though, obviously lost its target. Tractor Rapier gets a good shot off. Does it get a second hit? No, it doesn't. Mech Rifles leader has almost arrived. 10 minutes left of this game. Mech Rifles leader at the top of the map there as well for Toff. It looks like he's going to try and get a leader into both sides of the map. That's obviously why he's pushing these infantry up. Also using the artillery to force these units back out of the tree line. It now has descended into a bit of a scramble for control. But it's not looking good for Chich. With 10 minutes left, he'd have to do a lot of work. And unfortunately, he suddenly lost a lot of units. Mech Rifles leader will move into this point. And that might be all that's needed. The Sultan is still in there as well, so this will only be a neutralization. It will not be a cap. But it just might make the difference. Chich never managed to secure the bottom point here and never managed to push through on the top. Loads more units arriving at the top there for Chich. He's going to defend that. I think that Mech Rifles leader will not get in at the top, but 44 seconds on the clock. And even all in down here, I don't think there's enough to kill that command in time. HE bomber coming in. Oh, Mech Rifles leader was moved in time. It's being danced around by Toff. I did suspect the only thing that was going to come in and do the damage there was a bomber. 10 seconds. Game 1 goes to Toff. A very hard-fought game by both players. Massive turnaround. Absolutely massive turnaround by both players. Cannot believe that. What a back and forth. Look at how close the kills and losses were by the end there. But Toff seemingly exchanging well at the start. Took control of the map. Chich built up his forces. Didn't worry about his commands, but perhaps didn't worry about those commands for a little bit too long. Did regain control of a lot of the map. Superbly, might I add. Toff looking massively on the back foot. And then somehow, and I don't quite know how, Chich just started losing units rapidly. I think in an attempt to kill Toff's command and his tanks at that industrial zone. Let's have a look at the kills and losses, because that was a very impressive game. Chieftain's doing well, Warrior Milan's doing well, Arm Rifles. That Tractor Rapier, I thought, got a lot more kills than I think it did. It seemed to be doing the work, but maybe it was just getting lots of hits. Rifle's doing well. Over at the other side, iHawk did well too. Laser... Oh. Well, I mean, laser-guided bombers are laser-guided bombers, I suppose, but I think, you know, 2 commands, a Challenger Mark III. It's looking good for that, getting MVP at the moment. Part of me is loath to give it to a laser-guided bomber, but it did the work. Laser-guided bomber definitely gets MVP here. Let's have a quick look at those losses there. So you can see early game, lots of red losses, interspersed with blue, but majoritively red. Then we start getting a few blue losses, certainly a lot of aircraft. Then we switch back into just red, 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 red. And that's where things really turned around in the favour of Toff. He got a lot of kills, obviously a lot of damage done at the top of the map. Again, lots of kills. We're seeing lots of red losses. We do see a lot of aircraft being lost, though, which are worth a lot of money on Toff's side. And then as we went through there, a little bit more of an equal exchange for a while, and then lots of losses for Toff. Really swung it back in the favour of Chich. Again, lots of blue losses as we go down. And then all of a sudden, at this point here, and I think this was where the Command Abrams went into the point, and there is the kill actually, funnily enough. But you can see just that sudden turnaround, just a wall of red losses at the end of the game there. And at that point, that was it. I think that all of those losses there, that meant that Chich had lost that advantage of exchanging well. But yeah, that it's not very often it's so clear cut back and forth. You don't often see that. Usually someone falters like that and then it's a steamroll, but well done for both players bringing it back. First Chich and then Toff. Really well played. I enjoyed that game for that. Some real skill being shown off there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please do like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for tomorrow when we'll have the next of these 3 games.